3 p.m. Central African Time. Revik Jazz, the remix, Now or Never, by Sanko Mota. What a banger of a song. What a banger of a song. I love it.
I actually really like it.
I love it. I'm going to add it to my playlist now. I have to.
It's a good one.
Let's get into our final conversation this afternoon. You said we were celebrating 3 extraordinary young minds who are doing extraordinary things and are going to raise the South African flag. They're all the way in Tunisia.
Absolutely. I like that. Extraordinary. I love it. South Africa's young scientists are preparing to share their research with the world as they head to Tunisia. As Tebogo has mentioned, this is for the International Festival of Engineering, Science and Technology, known as I-FEST². Is it I-FEST²? Whoa.
That sounds right. I-FEST².
This is what happens when you get an age for science. Okay, so the event takes place from the 23rd to the 29th of March 2026, and it brings together innovators aged between 14 and 24. All right, so young people from across the globe are going to be part of this wonderful occasion. 3 learners who stood out at last year's Eskom Expo, I beg your pardon, for Young Scientists International Science Fair will represent South Africa for this particular festival. Let's talk about it. Parthy Chetty is joining us on the line, and they are Executive Director of Eskom Expo. Thank you very much for joining us, Parthy. A pleasure to talk to you this afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be available to your wonderful radio show.
Thank you. Thank you. Please help us establish something. The connection between International Engineering and Technology Festival in Tunisia and the Eskom Expo. What is the connection there? Is it one thing? Is it 2 collaborative spaces?
Yeah, so basically, science connects all of these international science fairs.
Right.
We have probably around, we participate as South Africa in about 7 international science fairs across the world, starting with Taiwan in the east all the way to the USA. Tunisia is just one of the science fairs during the course of the academic year and in the world geography.
Okay.
That's an interesting one. Parthy, let's talk about the work of Eskom Expo, because many students would have come across it, would have taken part in an expo. But let's understand the impact, the purpose of the Eskom Expo. No doubt it would have produced quite a lot of engineers, some scientific minds and creative ideas. But what was originally the idea behind Eskom Expo?
Sure, thanks for that. Eskom Expo started 46 years ago by a passionate teacher who wanted children to do science and not just observe science in the classroom. It started off at Victoria Boys High in one school from one teacher. It is now spread rapidly across the entire country, all 9 provinces. We reach over 300 schools. We reach about over 20,000 learners. And we represent South Africa in 7 international science fairs. So what started as a small project in a school has now become a national initiative that has really flourished over the past 46 years.
Right. I would imagine a space like this also offers us a lot of information and data around, just the level of science talent that we see here on the African continent. Let's do this. Let's take a break. We're going to unpack that after we return.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the Shy Guy.
I Show Speed, often called Speed, who is a popular American YouTuber and live streamer known for his high-energy personality, loud reactions, and unpredictable humor. He visited Ethiopia, and he was shocked what he found out, actually, when he got to Ethiopia. He got to find out that, they don't use the Gregorian calendar. That is, we are in 2026 right now. And he got to find out they are in 2018.
2018? 2018.
Are you trolling? It's 2026.
No.
It ain't 2026. Ronaldo is still in Real Madrid. Everything is in the past here.
Oh man, how shocked the speed was.
He went back in time.
Saturday and Sunday mornings belong to the Morning Switch. 3 to 6 a.m. Central African Time.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
Tebogo and Mmatsheko from the upside.
22 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. We are still celebrating three brilliant minds who at the Eskom Expo exhibited incredible traits, and now they're going to be representing South Africa in Tunisia and raising and waving that South African flag.
Absolutely.
There we go. There we go.
Essentially, we're talking about a very important ecosystem within engineering and technology and sciences. And as Parthy Chetty, who is our guest, rightfully shared with us, that there are several conference spaces and fairs, as it were, that Eskom, as an expo and as an entity, has been participating in and taking young people from South Africa into those spaces to participate and to really share research that is relevant for the time that we live in. Parthy, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how this ecosystem and how these gatherings or rather what they are revealing about the level of science talent that we're seeing, using South Africa as an example. The learners from the Eskom Expo, to be precise, are the ones that are being invited to share an international stage in Tunisia. So what has been the revelation over time around the talent that we are seeing that's coming out of the global south, if you will?
Sure. Thanks for highlighting the performance of our learners and the potential that's available to them. The Eskom Expo is a platform that operates alongside the schooling system. Quite simply, how it works, whatever the learner learns in the classroom, let's say physical science, mathematics, whatever they learn in the classroom, if they are passionate about it, if they want to know more about that particular topic, they can then pursue additional research and enter the project into the platform, which is parallel to the school system. It is known as a co-curricular activity, and which is the Eskom Expo for Young Scientists. So what we have to do is also to support these learners. Quite often, the teacher in the classroom may be limited with their level of expertise, and that hinders growth in our South African youth. Now, what we do as the Expo, we give these learners an opportunity to showcase their passion for science. We provide them with mentorship. These are graduates and postgraduate students, as well as lecturers, professionals, to support these learners in a field that they are passionate about. Now, this is one of the ways in which the leading countries in the world are actually getting their learners to be future scientists, engineers. More importantly for us as South Africans, is to be innovators and inventors. Most countries in South Africa and the majority of the population in Africa are actually users of technology. They don't really invent things that the world adopts. However, South Africa has many inventions that is being used worldwide. Now, that should not stop there. So what we do is we tell these learners, your future is in your hands. So pursue your passion, and we're going to help you. And Expo is actually a national initiative that is supported by the Department of Basic Education, as well as the Department of Science and Innovation. So it's a national initiative that's tasked with growing future scientists and engineers for our country. So this is one way in which we can tell the learners, take control of your future and we are here to help you. And we've seen some fantastic projects coming through. We've seen learners take the project to market. We've seen learners go overseas. We've seen learners work in NASA. We've seen learners who have a planet named after them. So our learners, even though they may come from the average schooling system, when put on the international stage, they are excelling and they are winning in every science fair that they participate in.
Wow.
Parthy, we need to have our own separate conversation. I think I'll just grab your numbers afterwards, because having a planet named after me, I think, would be a brilliant thing. But let's get back to this conversation, which is we've got 3 representatives from South Africa. Diya Zacaria, Nathan Moolman and Nicolaas Steenkamp, who will be representing South Africa at the International Festival of Engineering, Science and Technology from the 23rd to the 29th of March in Tunisia. Tell us about their projects.
Okay, so what we encourage learners to do is to look at the immediate environment, identify a problem, and then go about solving that problem. Now, if we look at Diya, she's in school, and she looked at how to maximize the movement of learners from one classroom to another regarding the subject choices, because she found that a lot of time is wasted by learners moving from one room to another, then settling down, then getting ready to move. So she developed an algorithm that can actually streamline and ensure that we don't lose time in the school day. We just have a 6-hour school day and we lose a lot of time. So that's what she focused on. I think it was Moolman that looked at the aerodynamics of aircraft, of the additional flap. Aircraft contribute a lot to carbon emissions, and that's because of burning a lot of jet fuel. Now, his theory and his project worked on, if he can reduce the amount of fuel being burnt by reducing the drag coefficient, that means aircrafts will burn less fuel and still be able to fly and be able to reach the altitudes that they require. So he's also looking at a real-world problem of trying to solve the carbon emissions. And the third learner was looking at gaming and looking at how best do we learn? So do we learn best when we are rewarded? Do we learn best when we are punished? Or do we learn best when we are rewarded and punished? So he tested his theory and he was able to devise gaming where learners were able to simulate. And he was able to draw a conclusion to say, okay, this is a method that learners, or adults for that matter, would learn best. So none of these 3 projects are confined to the classroom itself. But, you know, it just accentuates the point I was trying to make. Learners have a passion for science, and the classroom kind of creates a ceiling. But the expo says, bring your passion, because any one of these 3 projects can go to market. Any one of them could be groundbreaking technologies. So we have to give them the opportunity, the support. Thereafter, it's up to industry as well to say, hang on, that's a very good idea to improve on our aircrafts and reduce carbon emission, thereby solving some of the challenges with greenhouse gases, one of the Millennium Development Goals and so on. So these learners think global and act local. And that is exactly what we encourage.
I love everything. Mr. Chetty, I think this is just such a wonderful initiative. And I guess we got to learn a little bit about the ecosystem of these fairs and also what these exchanges mean for the young, brilliant minds. Science is such a wonderful space, you know, so much imaginative, such an imaginative space, I want to say, for young people. So I guess I really also appreciated the real world examples, the solutions that emerge from young people when they, you know, engage in these projects and international showcases. So it would be in your best interest as well, I guess, to check out the Eskom Development Foundation and the work that they are doing and the role that they are playing in making sure that young people, maybe it could be your youngster one day on these global stages. Very, very important. Mr. Parthy Chetty joining us on the line as we talk about an upcoming international fair celebrating young South African scientists. He was joining us in his capacity as Executive Director of Eskom Expo. It is 3:30.